There was once a small nation inhabited by content and happy people. The citizens of this country greatly enjoyed their homeland, the independence of which had come at a high cost. One day, the country's democratically chosen leaders decided to betray the promises they had made to their people. They noted that if they used their power in manipulative ways, they could become incredibly rich. Through their actions, they scorned the independence that was afforded them at such a heavy cost, and the memory of which burned deep within the ranks of the populace. They wanted to forsake their fatherland's culture, its traditions, and its values. Through their legislation and taxation, they robbed their own more and more, while at the same time opening their country's doors to the foreign nations of the world, and thinking little of its impending risks to the safety of its own people. These leaders opened the floodgates, taking in anyone, even those who were never in need of a place of refuge. Through all of this, the leaders made sure to keep up appearances. By toting the right lines and partaking in the right events, they appeared to be blameless and pure. By doing so, they were able to conceal their true faces from the public eye. These decision makers took their country's media and turned it into their own propaganda platform. Those who dared to speak out were silenced and made out to be criminals. The country that once proved to be a safe haven for women and children was now a thing of the past. According to the words of the country's leaders, everyone was expected to adjust to the new order of things. And most importantly, they were told not to give way to fear and hate. Years passed, and the breadlines only further grew. Regular, hard-working folk lost their jobs, and some of them lost absolutely everything. The peoples of the land had finally had enough, and they began to be very, very discontent. Their anger began to form into energy. Energy that was thick and black, almost like smoke. One night, this dark energy reached its critical mass, and Mother Earth herself began to churn in her turmoil, spewing forth a creature from its depths, which was the embodiment of pure irritation. The monster's only objective was to see that the corrupt leaders were brought to justice. Having wandered the forests all the way to the nation's capital, the monster finally found the guilty.
We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, why? You got me feeling starstruck too.
Hei pomo, mä pidän pienen tauon.
Okei.
Missä helvetissä me ollaan? Kuljettaja!
of those inside screamed in terror and ran for their lives. But it was impossible to escape the anger of the people. The leader prayed for mercy and promised to repair the state of the country. But for the people, these promises were not enough. At last, the ringleader cried out, promising to rectify everything, resign, and be banished. Hearing this, the monster disappeared as smoke into the air. Were corruption to raise its ugly head again, the defender of the people would return with fury.
Kuten tiedät, ketutushirviötä ei ole olemassa, eikä se tule pelastamaan ketään. Vanhat puolueet eivät muuta päämääriään. Jos haluat muutosta, sinun pitää äänestää muutosta. Käytä valtaasi.